ones, empaths, you've got to understand that narcissistic tendencies, psychopaths, sociopaths, is very rampant in society. And it's not just in our households, in our family homes, in relationships. This goes right to the top of society, the world's elite. A lot of the world's elite are on the narcissistic spectrum, world leaders, CEOs, and they don't let narcissistic awareness get out as such. It is online, and it's only once you've gone through abuse you kind of search for those answers. But I'm talking about prior awakening. They don't let narcissistic awareness get out when growing up. You're not taught about it in school. They allow these demonic individuals to rule our countries, towns, cities. But the culture of these countries, towns, and cities allows this to infiltrate our homes by these demonic individuals being rampant throughout society. So naturally, as the leaders on the top are portraying these characteristics and showing that they're narcissistic, then it filters all the way down to the ones at the bottom, and there's nothing really done to stop it, because you've got to understand that the world, they use divide and conquer strategies anyway to stop us uniting as people. But on the basis of a whole people, we're actually divided up anyway from the start of time, right? You have the chosen ones and the empaths, and then on the other side of the spectrum you have the narcissists, the psychopaths, the sociopaths, etc., right? And then you've got the ones that fall, like the toxic ones that maybe fall in between, right? But we got to look beyond our nose. It's not just these people that you was dealing with. It's not just, your ex-partner or your family member or your friend. That's the main problem. The main problem is coming from the top. And they almost treat us like pawns on a chessboard. There's no care or consideration for us as people. And that's why we live in the conditions that we live in, I'm not saying that we're in a third world country as such, but what they call democracy doesn't really help a lot of people, They need us as mind slaves. They like to keep us asleep. And that's why I say that a free thinking mind is one of the most dangerous things. And that's why if you've come through this abuse, you've gone through abuse and you've awoken up, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the start of it. Please press the like and subscribe button. Help your brother out. It'll take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But this awakening is just the start of it. You've got to be able to see these figureheads in society. They're very narcissistic. You can't believe them for a second. That's why if you're hearing world leaders or CEOs of your corporations that you're under saying, oh, I'm for the people, etc., etc., they're not. They're for themselves. They're very self-absorbed, right? And they've got no care or consideration in their heart, mind, soul, anything for us as people. And this is down to the demonic influence. As they say, Satan is king, right, on this world. He rules this world. Even though God's the ruler, Satan is kind of being granted respite upon earth, where he's able to lead man into temptation and lead us astray as such, right? And that's what we've got to go with. That's what we've got to put up with until we die and transcend to the next realm. We've got to put up with the with temptation from Satan. And these lot have just been whipped. These lot are just nothing but slaves to Satan. They're slaves to Satan, right? Sort of like servants in heaven, kings in hell. I'm not saying that people that are born into a high place in society are all necessarily bad. I believe they've got their own test upon themselves. But I'm saying that many people that are leading society don't speak out against what's the real picture of what's going on, right? They love to control all of us. And people that are born into a position of power that actually have the platform to speak out for the people, they don't speak out for the people. And it's maybe because of fear. It may be because they'll be labeled as crazy. That's another thing. A lot of people that have come out in the past and have said stuff, they've been labeled all sorts of things, been thrown in jail. Free speech isn't so free, you know. They say free speech and all of that, but it's not really the case, because you say certain things and you'll get blocked and banned and tarnished, and they won't let you speak out on these platforms, right? They don't mind us, maybe lower down ones, talking about it, you know. But I want you to be aware that there's many people, these so-called rulers, leaders, that have got no care in the world. They're psychopathic. They've got one game in mind, and it's about themselves. They don't give a shit about us as people. And that's why we see, like, you know, even in England, for example, in the poorer areas in England, you'll see a betting shop. You'll see 3 betting shops in a row on a block of shops, right? In England, right? In the poor areas, you'll see 3 betting shops, and they're all brightly coloured and, you know, attractive to lead man to temptation, to gambling. But if you go to a richer area, maybe central London, maybe a richer area, the betting shops are blacked out. You can't really even tell they're a gambling shop. And there might be just one. But this shows the infrastructure. And that's just me I'm only touching on the surfaces here because, you know, I'm only touching on the surface, but I could really go deep with this. But there's a plan at hand that wants to keep us down. They want to keep us down spiritually, physically, and mentally. You know, this is why I'm saying, all they had to do when you was younger is say, listen, be careful. You know, when you're young and you hear about stranger danger, or you hear about those sorts of things when you're young, you hear about stranger danger and you know about but at the same time, you need to be aware. You need to know about people that are around you, that you know that they can be dangerous as well. You know, you should be taught this stuff growing up. You should be taught that there's a type of person in the world that doesn't function like us, that doesn't have the tendencies, doesn't have empathetic heart, and we should be split up. You know, we should be picked out. They should be picking you know, people show traits of the psychopathic nature and stuff like that because it's all predestined. It's all pre-earth. You've been chosen to either represent the dark realm or the light realm, right? Godly realm or the devilish realm. You've been chosen from birth. So we should be picked apart naturally. But instead they just mix us all up, and then we have to try and solve it ourselves. And now that's why some of us have gone into relationships, and we're all 10 years into a relationship, married, kids, the lot. And then you find out you're with a psychopath or a narcissist or a sociopath, right? And you go through this abuse. We should be taught about this stuff from the very beginning. So therefore we know to look for empathetic traits. A lot of us went into these relationships so blindly, you know, blind love. We went into it so blindly. It's so dangerous to go into these situations so blindly. And all of us collectively have probably only come over to platforms like this because we've gone through the experience. But naturally, we should at least have some awareness of this before it happens. We should have all known what a narcissist was growing up. We should have all known that there's a psychopath in the world. We should all know about these types of people, right? But the reason why we're not taught about these types of people is because these types of people, it should be in the curriculum of education. But these types of people are ruling our countries, cities, towns, and that's why we're not made aware about it. That's why we're not made aware. So anyway, I just thought I'd put out this message today. You know, just try and liberate with your fellow man that's from the light realm, from the godly realm, and, you know, separate yourselves from the ones that are under demonic influence. Anyway, so thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently I have the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. If you want to check that out, the link for that channel is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.